Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. In today's video, I am making a banner with one of our new die sets, the Shovel and Pail die set. It is a shaker banner. So here's the Shovel and Pail die set itself. It's going to create a pail, and then there's also a die so you can create a frame to make a shaker. This is really cute on a card, but I love making banners, so I thought I would make a fun summertime banner. I picked out the colors I wanted for each of my pails, and I'm doing a rainbow, but kind of with a pastel vibe. So softer for summer, and there are all the pieces die cut out. You can see I have a solid and a window piece for each color, and then I used the die by itself to die cut out a window sheet. I glued the window sheets to the back of the pails, and then I'm using my foam tape to go all the way around each of those. Now this is some thin foam tape. This is what's going to work best for this particular die cut. You can see it fits on there just right, and we want to make sure that the ends of the foam tape are touching on all sides so that none of my shaker bits are going to get out. So I'll do that on all the rest of the pieces, and then I went through my stash of confetti from Trinity Stamps and found some in each of the 6 colors for my rainbow that I thought would go well. They have confetti in all different colors and different finishes, like iridescent, pearlized, like clear. So there's, so many that you can choose from. There's metallics. So yeah, if you're looking for a variety of colors, Trinity Stamps is the place. Okay, you can see I added the confetti bits to the window side. Then I'll remove the backing off of the foam tape, and then I can take my solid bucket piece and then just line that up very slowly, very carefully. Make sure I have it where I want it before I press down, and there you can see it kind of also looks like a solo cup. I'm just going to throw that out there for anybody that might be interested in that. There's also this die that cuts the opening of the pail. Like normally you might make this brown for sand or something. I'm just going to have mine be the same color as the bucket, and then I'll add a little something to it here shortly. So there is a die or two actually that create this scallop. It's like a little decorative piece for your bucket, and then I like to line it up with the crease line that the die creates for me, and it fits there perfectly. So on my buckets, that little piece that is like the inside of the bucket, I covered with a shimmer pen. So it's got a little bit of shimmeriness there. All right, there is a die that creates a handle. I die cut the handle 6 times, and I'm going to glue mine on maybe a little bit different. Instead of both pieces gluing to the front, I'm going to have one glue to the front and one glue to the back to give it a little bit of realism. You can see it's just a little bit big, but if I hold it down and press it into place, it's going to stay just like that. Also, there's the shovel, and the shovel has an opening in the handle. You could hook the handle on to the handle of the bucket. Wouldn't that be cute? Okay, the shovel also has 2 pieces you can use to add a scallop and then the handle piece. So I die cut mine from some polka dotted patterned paper that coordinates. I'm going to have like all different shades of pink, shades of orange, shades of yellow, etc. And it's all going to look really good. So then the polka dot piece is the first scalloped layer, and then there's this tiny little detail scallop that just makes it, and I did that with white cardstock, and you can see each one has polka dots and white scallops. Now there is a second piece for the buckets. I didn't think I was going to use it, but I was so in love with that polka dot paper and how it looked on the shovel. I really wanted to add some to each of the buckets to coordinate it, so I added that on, and the buckets are awesome. All right, then I'm going to glue the shovel right to the front of that bucket, and no banner in my mind is complete without a sentiment. So I brought out the modern embossed edge alphabet die. I die cut my letters from white cardstock and coordinating fun foam, craft foam. I'm going to offset these so that you have a little bit of the foam showing for some dimension, and then I'll glue each of the letters onto the largest part of the shovel. Oh my word. It's so very cute. All right, so this is not only going to say summer, but it's going to say celebrate. I'm using the Simply Sentimental Celebrate die set and some glitter craft foam. This is backed with our rip and stick sheets to turn it into a sticker, and there's also a shadow layer die. By the way, there's also a Simply Sentimental Celebrate stamp set that coordinates really good with the die set. You can use those shadow layer dies to die cut out the stamped words Celebrate, and there's sub-sentiments as well. So I attached my Glitter Fun Foam Celebrate to the white panel there, and then I just glued it right onto the pink bucket itself. So now my banner is going to say Celebrate Summer, but we need to string this up. So I have some strips here that are 2 inches by 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to use my crease tool here and curve this paper. Then I'll take our rip and stick tape that's 1/4 of an inch wide, put that at the bottom as well as some liquid glue. That's how I roll. I know it's not necessary, but I don't want my banner falling. So I made a little loop there. I'm going to make 6 loops, 1 for each bucket, and these will get attached to the backs of the buckets with some more rip and stick tape and liquid glue. And I'm putting those right in the center of the bucket at the top, but just flush with the bucket so that they don't actually show from the front side, like that. And I'll just press and hold that into place. And then I'm going to string this up with some ribbon. I like to add a little loop at the end of my ribbon. That will be the thing I use to hang up my banner, whether I use a push pin or a tack or even tape. I can use that loop for that. And then I make it as long as I want my banner to be with a little extra on the end to tie a second loop. But I'll tie the second loop after I string them. I'm going to start with the R and string that on, and then I'll move backwards through the letters. So it's always a good idea when you're stringing a banner to make sure you have everything lined up so that it's spelled right. Because sometimes when you're stringing it, you don't necessarily think about that. Now, one thing I wish I would have done is maybe make my loops a little bit tighter so that the buckets couldn't move so freely back and forth on the ribbon, but it just depends on how you're and where you're hanging it. So I might have to adjust that later when I actually figure out where I want to hang this. So now I am taking some glaze and adding that to the top of each of the letters. That's going to make them raised up and shiny. But before it dries, I am going to take some glitter, yes, and I'm going to sprinkle that rock candy glitter right over the top of my wet glaze. And I'm just pinching it between my fingers and sprinkling it on like you would a pinch of salt. And so that's going to leave very little extra glitter. But once this dries, I just tap the back of the bucket off into a trash can because there's very little wasted glitter. So now it's dry and all my letters have glitter, and I love how that banner turned out. I've also made a card with this bucket and shovel, pail and shovel, so I wanted to show it to you. I also made it a shaker, but it's a really fun die set, great for summer, and so many different things you can do with this besides just making a card. So I hope I've inspired you, and maybe you'll make banners. I love making them. I always make them for my kiddos' birthdays, and so I have quite a stash of banners built up from over the years, and I think they'll be really fun to pass on someday. So thank you again for stopping by the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. We will be back again very soon with more videos for you right here on our YouTube channel, and you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. Here's a couple more videos you might like, and I will see you all again very soon. Happy stamping! Bye!